What's up there, YouTubers and fellow riders? The Chemist back here in the garage cooking up a little DIY for you on brakes. I just recently purchased some EBC Double H centered brake pads, and this tutorial is not so much about brake pads or brake job, but I recently went down to the dealership, and yeah, I know I'm always harping about going down to the dealership, but I was kind of stuck in a bind. I had popped a tire and I needed to get a new one on there quick status. So yeah, I got raped obviously with the dealership. Tire came out when I called them up. They're like, oh yeah, BTO 16s, no problem, we got them in here, $145. Well, yeah, I went down there, $145 for the tire plus labor charges plus the tire disposal service, whatnot. At the end of the day, $245 to change a damn tire. Fucking ridiculous. I'm gonna prepare for this next time, and I'll be doing my own tire changes from now on. But like I said, I was in a bind. I couldn't go anywhere else. The dealership is about maybe a few blocks from my house here in Brea, California. So I had no choice but to go there. So like I said, went on Revzilla, saw the same tire. Well, actually, I saw the new BTOs. It was the 20s, and actually they're up to 21s now. And yeah, $113 for a tire, and if I had the right tools and if I was prepared, I could have did it myself, but I wasn't. So that's not going to happen again. I'm obviously going to get myself some tools so I could do my own tire changes and purchase those tires for a whole lot cheaper online. But anyways, back to this tutorial real quick. EBC, well, while I was there, the tech or the mechanic there said, oh yeah, take a look at your brake pads. You only got 10% life left on your pads. And I was like, okay, cool. Didn't think twice. I mean, it didn't dawn on me. And then I came back to the conclusion, well, what the hell is 10% left on your brake pads? Well, if you take a look at these brand new brake pads, this is what's, to be expected from brand new pads. I just pulled these off my bike, and I was kind of curious to see what 10% was left. Now, mind you, I think 2 weeks have gone by since then. I probably rode over, let's see, 500 miles, 4, probably about 800 miles after they had told me that I had 10% left. So just pull these off, and I want to show you what 10% looks like left on your pads. Now, as you can see, there's like almost nothing left of these pads. And if you ever hear that, the dealership ever tells you, or someone tells you got 10% left on your pads, this is what you're looking at. Okay, that's pretty damn important. These are, as you can see, some of the sides are worn down even thinner than the other, which tells me I'm getting uneven wear. Might be time for some new rotors. But yeah, that's 10%. Well, actually, that's probably like 5% now. So if we do a side-by-side comparison here, this is what you have left on your pads. And that's nothing to mess around with. Brakes are pretty important. To me, stopping's pretty important, especially if I need to stop on a dime. That's nothing to mess around with. So if someone tells you you have 10 to 15% left on your brake pads, make sure you get on them right away. You don't have to go this route. These are, like I said, double H, to each his own, depending on the brake pads. I like the centered brakes, even though they're a little rough on the rotors. You get great stopping power. As far as anything else is concerned, you have your ceramics. I don't like the softness of ceramics. It's kind of got, it doesn't really grip really well. For those of you who have, had various brake pads, you'd know the difference. But to me, centered double H is the way to go. EBC, yeah, they're kind of expensive, but I think I picked up this pair for like maybe, what, 20-30 bucks online. These are a dime a dozen. You can find them all day long on eBay. But for me, if you were going to go with a brake pad, I'd highly choose the centered double H. So that's a real quick tutorial for you guys. I'm going to get back to installing these pads in there real quick. Another thing, when you are installing your pads, I don't know, for each his own. Some people just go ahead and slap them in, call it a day. I like to go ahead and scuff up the rotor a little bit, get all that grime off of it. You don't want any glazing on your pads, so I tend to take a little sandpaper, scuff up the pads, scuff up the rotor, make sure I get great stopping power. If you get on it and you didn't do this, you might feel like a little slippage. They're not going to grab you right away, or you're gonna feel this hesitant in stopping you, just go ahead and grab yourself, like I said, some sandpaper, probably about maybe some 600 grit, and scuff up your rotors, and if you can, scuff up your pads a little bit, just to kind of open them up and get rid of that glazing thing that seems to happen on them. So once again, this is the Chemist in the Garage cooking up this DUI. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like button. If not, like always, see you next problem.